Hello, my name is Celty Tomato, and today I'll be bringing you a team deathmatch on Slums. Before we get into the gameplay, I'd like to suggest that uh, you probably want to watch this video in 1080p, as it is far superior to that of the standard YouTube quality. With that out of the way, let's get on to the class I'm using here. I'm using the Scar H with the suppressor, the stock, and the extended mags. Therefore, I'm also using the primary gunfighter. Wildcard is one of my pick 10 points. I'm also using the perk 1 greed wildcard with ghost and hardline. My second perk is toughness, and my third perk is dexterity. Alright, so if you've played any considerable amount of team deathmatch, you would probably have picked up on the fact that the spawns are not predictable, and they are not they're not like they are in like demolition or domination or one of those game types where the enemy spawns in the same area over and over again. The spawns flip like all the time, and there's no real good way to determine where they're going to spawn in the first place. So that's why it's very important to keep a low profile, especially when playing TDM. I mean, it's important in all game types, but especially in TDM. So one of the best tips I can give you is to use the suppressor. This goes without say, but the suppressor is useful because it keeps you off the radar. You don't show up as a red dot when you're firing your gun. This is incredibly important because if less people know who you are, this will lessen the chances of you dying. The less people going after you, the less times you die. That's just simple. There's just a correlation there between those two things. Sorry, let me just get a drink quick. Alright. Now the second tip that I can give is for you to use Ghost. Always, I think there's never a time when you shouldn't use Ghost in when you're playing TDM. Maybe the only time is when you're using a sniper, because you're probably going to be standing still most of the time anyways. In case you didn't know, Ghost only works while you're moving. So yeah, I mean, unless you're using a sniper, you're going to always be using Ghost. There's two benefits to Ghost, really. There's the obvious benefit that's you won't show up on the radar when they have a UAV, but and that's helpful to a certain degree, just in the fact that when they have a UAV up in the air, they won't have an advantage over you. Like, but there's also another component to the Ghost perk that a lot of people don't realize, and it's kind of a byproduct of the initial effect. It's basically, to put it short, to say it concisely, people won't expect you to be near you if they don't show up on your radar. That might not make sense the way I explained it, but basically, think of the heartbeat sensor in Modern Warfare 2, right? I mean, if you had a heartbeat sensor, a lot of people would just, if you didn't show up on their heartbeat sensor, they would just assume that you're not there. That's why Ninja was, not only for silent footsteps, but that's why Ninja was also a good perk to use, because when someone was using a heartbeat sensor and you snuck up, or not when you snuck, if you're near them, they wouldn't not only would they not know you're there, but they would assume you're not there because you didn't show up on their heartbeat sensor. I'm not sure if that makes sense the way I'm saying it, but it's basically the same exact thing with Ghost. People, if you don't show up on their radar when they have a UAV, they're just gonna assume that you're not there, wherever you are, just because there's no red dot there. Because of this, this makes Ghost extremely useful. So yeah, you need Ghost. Alright, so my third and final tip is to just avoid the center of the map as much as possible. Um, when you're in the center of the map, two things are going to happen. You're going to get into a lot of fair gunfights, which you might, like, there's a, there's a good chance that you're going to lose. Or not a good chance, but a decent chance that you're going to lose, depending on how good you are. But also, you're going to get shot in the back a lot if you go through the middle of the map. Just because there's more, you're just being more, you're being more exposed to the lines of sight of more people. So yeah, those are my tips on how you can stay alive better in TDM. As you can see, the game just ended here. I think I went like 34-4 or something. Okay, so yep, that's basically it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
Our tracks have been erased. Good job.